The signs say they're protesting for fairer wages. Dear Tim and Moby, why are we celebrating Cesar Chavez's birthday? Thanks, Jared. Cesar Chavez was a Mexican-American farm worker who led a campaign to improve the working conditions of millions of other farm workers. He was one of the greatest civil rights leaders of the 20th century. Chavez was born in North Gila Valley near Yuma, Arizona on March 31st, 1927. During the Great Depression, his family was swindled out of their home. They headed to California to find temporary work on farms. People who move around the country harvesting seasonal crops are called migrant workers. Chavez's family picked peas and lettuce in the winter, cherries and beans in the spring, corn and grapes in the summer, and cotton in the fall. Because they moved so often, Chavez went to more than 30 schools. No, a migrant farmer's life wasn't easy. It didn't pay much, and workers often lived in government camps without access to clean water or bathrooms. Kids had to switch schools all the time, and sometimes, in order to raise enough money to keep their families fed, they couldn't go to school at all. Well, sure, it's fun to get a day off from school every once in a while. But without a decent education, children of migrant workers couldn't learn the skills that could help them get better jobs. Young Cesar left school after 8th grade to work in the fields after his father was in an accident and could no longer work to feed the family. After serving in the Navy for 2 years, Chavez returned to field labor. Soon, he became the leader of a civil rights group for Latinos, who made up the majority of the farming labor community. Conditions for farm workers remained pretty bad, so eventually Chavez he just got fed up. A lot of other people were fed up too. In 1962, he and Dolores Huerta founded the National Farm Workers Association to improve wages and working conditions. It was a labor union, a group of workers who joined together in order to protect their rights. Because Chavez was influenced by the peaceful rebellions led by Mahatma Gandhi in India, he always used non-violent ways to get his point across. Like Martin Luther King Jr., another student of Gandhi, Chavez relied on 3 techniques: strikes, boycotts, and protest marches. All 3 of these came in handy in 1965. That year, the National Farm Workers Association joined up with a group of Filipino grape pickers striking in Delano, California. A strike happens when employees of a particular company all decide not to go to work. Well, yeah, usually it's a good thing to go to work. But a strike is a non-violent way for workers to demand things like better wages, safer working conditions, or more affordable health care from their employers. Companies don't want employees to strike because it costs money. So they'll often negotiate with strikers, and both sides will come to a compromise. Chavez also led a protest march from Delano to Sacramento, the California state capital. Well, protest marches show that people care about an issue, which can help convince leaders to pass new laws. Finally, Chavez helped convince millions of Americans to boycott grapes, to refuse to buy or eat them in support of the strikers. The strike he led finally ended in 1970, leading not just to better conditions for grape pickers, but also to more strikes and unions all over the country. It also caused a bunch of different labor unions to join up into the United Farm Workers, an organization that still works for the rights of farm workers today. Well, Chavez is best known for the grape pickers strike, but he worked for the rest of his life for the rights of farm workers and of Mexican-American immigrants. He died on April 23, 1993. Today, 8 states recognize his birthday as a holiday, and cities all over the country have named streets, schools, and other buildings after him. Maybe we should find a different store.
All right. So we can take the quiz if we want to. All right. That's Cesar Chavez Day. That's today. That's what we're celebrating today. Today's Cesar Chavez Day. That's your social studies overview. All right. And sometimes we'll take the quiz. Sometimes we won't. Today we won't take the quiz because no one's here to take it. but I can go over it. Okay, let's take the quiz anyway, just for fun. What the heck? So, which of the following is opinion about Cesar Chavez? He's regarded as a hero by many farm workers. No. He rose to fame as a union organizer. Nope, that's not it either. He should be honored with a federal holiday. That's right. Cesar Chavez should be honored with a federal holiday. Number 2, why do migrant workers move around so much? A, they prefer not to have permanent homes. B, corporations forbid them from settling down permanently. C, they pay lower taxes if they move around a lot. Or D, different crops are harvested at different times a year. So it's D. That's right, they harvest different crops. Why would big businesses oppose unions? Because unions prevent hardworking people from earning a decent wage. Businesses have to pay union workers union salaries and benefits. That's why they don't want unions to form, you guys. Okay, so there's 3 of the questions from the quiz. We won't go through all 10. But that was Brain Pop. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Peace.